If you thought you'd seen it all, think again. This is Celebrity Press, where secrets explode before your eyes. Nobody saw this coming. Not from Kendrick, not in Frankfurt, and definitely not on a night that was supposed to be just another routine stop on the Grand National Tour. But what went down inside that arena? It wasn't a concert. It was a breakdown of the soul. Fans weren't vibing. They were collapsing. Cameras trembled. People screamed, clutched each other, and literally dropped to their knees as Kendrick delivered something so intimate, so raw, it shook the room. Even his own team didn't know it was coming. Then suddenly, the music cut. No beat, no mic, just Kendrick standing in complete silence, eyes bloodshot, while the crowd roared one name that sent chills through the building. Whitney, Whitney, Whitney. What did Kendrick just confess that left grown men weeping? What surprise guest stepped onto that stage and flipped the energy upside down? And why are fans calling this the most unforgettable live performance of Kendrick's career? This wasn't a tour stop anymore. It turned into a full-blown public therapy session. But to make sense of what exploded in Frankfurt, we have to rewind a bit. Because Kendrick wasn't just touring, he was bleeding on stage. The Grand National Tour had already dominated headlines with its sold-out arenas, shattered streaming records, and wild surprise cameos, including SSCA clips and even Rake. But beneath the stunning visuals and tight sets, something was bubbling beneath the surface. Fans were catching on. The cracks were starting to show. And then came the whispers, dark ones. Frankfurt insiders began leaking strange behind-the-scenes details. A tour assistant revealed that Kendrick was skipping sound checks. He was dodging team meetings. He'd spend hours alone backstage, no phone, no crew, no words. Just silence. One backstage source told a popular hip-hop blog, he's dealing with something deep. You can see it in his posture, in his energy. It's like he's preparing for a storm. That storm hit in Berlin. That night, Kendrick performed Mother I Sober, but halfway through the verse, he broke. The beat stopped. He covered his face. At first, the crowd thought it was part of the show, some artistic breakdown. But it wasn't. Without a word, he walked off stage. The concert ended early. Just like that. Fans went into meltdown. Is he okay? Exploded across Twitter. That wasn't rehearsed. He didn't even perform, all right. That's unheard of. Something's wrong. Some blamed burnout. Others whispered about personal drama. But then came a viral Reddit leak that hit different. A supposed insider dropped this bomb. Kendrick had received crushing personal news right before the Berlin show. And it involved Whitney Alford, his longtime partner, the mother of his children, his emotional home base. It was serious. And just 3 days later, he stepped off the plane in Frankfurt. Frankfurt, a city thick with history. But this wasn't just about the tour anymore. Sources say Kendrick's team chose Frankfurt specifically, not just for the city, but the venue. The Festhalle Frankfurt isn't just big, it's haunted with meaning. In the early 20th century, it had been the site of brutal regimes. Later, it became a battleground for protests, uprisings, revolutionary speeches. A space soaked in resistance. Kendrick handpicked this venue for one reason. He wanted to turn his pain into a statement, into purpose. No one understood what that meant until the first note dropped. But fans already sensed something was off. Even before the lights dimmed, people noticed strange emissions from the printed setlist. No Humble. No DNA. Not Like Us. The anthem that had every arena erupting across the globe. That setlist didn't scream party, it screamed heartbreak. Songs like You Feel Pride and Mother I Sober had fans in line whispering, "What is this? A eulogy?" One person murmured, "This ain't no hype night. This feels like a funeral." Others were confused. Is this a gospel concert? What is he doing? What no one realized was that Kendrick was about to peel back every layer and lay his entire soul bare. And it wasn't just fans who sensed something was coming. Word had already started circulating in the music industry. Something heavy was brewing in Frankfurt. If you were smart, you'd show up. VIP boxes were suddenly swarming. Shaw was spotted quietly slipping in. Rock Nation affiliates and Absol reportedly flew in just hours before showtime. But the real whisper that sent chills across social media? Whitney Alford, yes, Kendrick's partner, was rumored to be in the building. Not backstage, not shielded by crew, but sitting front row, draped in all black. An anonymous photographer leaked a blurry photo. It showed a woman fitting her exact profile, red, glassy eyes, hands locked together, expression unreadable. Was it really her? No one could confirm, but something in the air shifted. A sound tech tweeted, then quickly deleted, this cryptic message: "Whatever happens tonight, we'll still be talking about it in 10 years. And then it began. At exactly 9:08 p.m., the lights cut off completely. The entire room went dead silent. No opening visuals. No music. Nothing but pitch-black stillness. Then, a slow spotlight landed on Kendrick, alone at center stage. No dancers. No instruments. Not even a mic in hand. Hoodie pulled low over his eyes, his head bowed like a man about to deliver his last words. He didn't move. He didn't speak. 90 seconds passed like an eternity. And then he slowly lifted his hand to his chest and whispered just one name. Whitney. The entire arena gasped. Then a haunting, stripped-down piano version of Pride began to play. No beat. No bass. Just raw keys and even rawer emotion. From that moment on, it wasn't a concert. It was a confession. I failed you, Whitney. Kendrick's voice shook as he laid it all bare. No rhythm. No hype. Just a man in the spotlight speaking his truth. I chose the mic over you, he said. The crowd froze. Not a phone raised. Not a single scream. Just pure stillness. It didn't feel like a show. It felt like Kendrick was standing at a pulpit, preaching from a church of his own pain. I let the world hear my trauma, but I never paused to heal yours. I chased applause while you carried everything alone. People started breaking. One woman near the front sobbed so hard she fainted. Security had to carry her out while tears still streamed down her cheeks. Others clutched their chests. And Kendrick kept going. I made albums about pain, about fathers, about loss, about chains. But I never wrote about the one thing I feared losing the most: you. According to a tour insider, Kendrick nearly canceled Frankfurt. They say he hadn't spoken to Whitney in days. He was terrified she wouldn't come. Then, the screen behind him came alive. But this wasn't tour graphics. This wasn't some carefully curated documentary visual. These were real moments. Personal clips. Home videos. Kendrick cradling his baby girl to sleep. Whitney sitting alone at family functions, barely smiling. Kendrick pacing inside the studio, gripping his head in frustration. This wasn't content. This was confession. I told myself the art was for my people, he said, voice cracking. But if I lose my family in the process, who even am I? Who am I? And then came the first plot twist. He tried to quit. The whole thing. Right there on stage, Kendrick admitted he tried to cancel the entire European leg of the Grand National Tour. He told his team to refund every ticket. Told Live Nation he was done performing. I couldn't fake it anymore, he confessed. The Berlin show, that wasn't a moment. That was me unraveling. But here's the real shocker. It wasn't his label that stopped him. It wasn't Jay-Z. It wasn't even his management. It was his daughter. And then it happened out of nowhere. The voice of a child echoed across the arena. A soft, innocent voice filled the silence. It was Kendrick's daughter. Don't stop, Daddy. We love your music. Mommy says you can fix it, you just gotta try. That was it. The breaking point. The crowd shattered. People weren't just crying. They were sobbing in full rows. One man in the front dropped to his knees, hands to the sky like he was in church. A fan on Twitter wrote, I came for a rap concert, ended up at Kendrick Lamar's spiritual intervention. But Kendrick wasn't done. He dropped a second bombshell. Mother I Sober, that raw, soul-punching track, wasn't written for the fans, or for therapy, or even for the world. It was a letter to Whitney. I couldn't say those words to her face. So, I buried them in the music. And then, he performed it. But not the version anyone had heard before. No beat. No drum. Just strings. A stripped-down, violin-only version.
And pain.
So much pain. As Kendrick sang, his voice began to crack midway through the bridge. He stopped. Couldn't continue. But the audience did it for him. Thousands of voices rose, unprompted. I choose me. I'm sorry. And this time, with a voice barely audible, Kendrick whispered something new. I choose us. That's when it happened. In the front row, Whitney Alford stood up, tears running down her cheeks. No words, no gestures, just standing. The camera zoomed in and confirmed it. It was her. No rumors now. No speculation. Whitney was there, and the crowd lost its collective mind. It was like someone hit the buzzer in a championship game. Fans screamed. Some jumped over the barricade just to get closer. One woman sobbed, "We love you, Whitney." Another fan yelled, "She stood up for him. That's real love." And then, Kendrick looked her straight in the eyes. The mic barely picked it up, but lip readers caught it. You gave me my soul back. He didn't close the show with "all right." He didn't drop "not like us." Instead, Kendrick ended the set with a never-before-heard track. No title, no preview, no leaks, just a piano and whispered lyrics that tore the room open. If I fall, will you catch my art or my body? Can I still be a man if I cry in front of the world? Tell my kids, I didn't mean to disappear. I was learning how to come home. When the final note faded, Kendrick didn't wave. Didn't say, thank you. He bowed, hand over his heart, and walked off the stage in silence. No fireworks, no encore, just stillness. By the next morning, Frankfurt wasn't just trending, it was dominating the internet. Every continent, every timeline, Kendrick Lamar breaks down on stage. The show that changed hip-hop forever. Whitney stood up. The world stood still. Clips flooded social media, raw, shaky, emotional. No filters, no auto-tune, just Kendrick cracking open in front of thousands. But then it got even crazier. A new clip surfaced, one that wasn't supposed to. At around 2 a.m. local time, a backstage worker anonymously dropped a photo on Reddit, and the internet went feral. Why? Because in that photo, eyes red, face streaked with tears, Kendrick was locked in an embrace. With J. Cole. Yes, Jermaine Cole himself. Hoodie pulled low, gripping Kendrick like a brother returning from war. The caption? Cole flew in secretly. Was backstage the whole time. Didn't say a word. Just waited. Twitter detonated. Kendrick and Cole reunited at Frankfurt? He was there through all of that? Bro, this is deeper than we thought. Dreamville XPG Lang is about to shake the world. Internet sleuths, the self-proclaimed nerdectives, wasted zero time. Flight records showed a private jet from Raleigh landed in Frankfurt the night before. Footage analysis revealed a shadowy figure near the side curtain, matching Cole's profile. And then someone unearthed an old interview clip. Me and Kendrick got something deeper than rap. If he ever calls, I'm there. J. Cole. And he was. By sunrise, major press outlets caught up. Rolling Stone. Kendrick Lamar's Frankfurt set may be his most vulnerable performance ever. The Guardian. Lamar didn't perform, he purged. A moment that redefined hip-hop. Variety. The rap messiah bared his wounds, and the world wept with him. Even European media outlets couldn't ignore it. Whitney stood up. The world listened. And in Frankfurt, hip-hop changed. Forever. Der Spiegel, Germany's most respected publication, didn't hold back. Their headline? Kendrick Lamar's Tears Conquer Frankfurt. This wasn't a concert. It was truth. Across social media, celebrities reacted in shock. Robin, a European pop icon, reposted a shaky fan video of the piano performance with the caption, "Witnessing that in person, I'll never be the same." Tyler, the creator, tweeted, "Man, that wasn't a show, that was church." And then came the biggest wave, Rihanna. She almost never comments on rap drama, but she broke her silence. On Instagram, she posted a completely black screen with only 4 words. Protect Kendrick at all costs. Even Beyoncé's official fan page shared a grainy video of her nodding emotionally during Mother I Sober. She had been there, quietly watching from a box seat. But one name stayed silent: Drake. Not a tweet, not a post. Fans took it two ways, either quiet panic or pure respect. Then came the next twist. By noon, Kendrick's team dropped a single piano snippet from the final track on his website. The name? Frankfurt. No cover art, no trailer, just a black screen with a single line beneath it. For those who stayed when I couldn't stand. And then the bombshell. A 7-day countdown timer. The internet detonated. Is this a new album? Live EP. Kendrick's 444 moment? A film? A book? Or is he retiring? Then it got even more raw. A second leaked backstage clip surfaced, this time showing Kendrick and Whitney Alford alone in a dim hallway. No sound. No crew. Just them. She's crying. He's whispering. They hold each other for 36 seconds straight. It ends with Kendrick resting his forehead against hers, eyes closed. Fans lost their minds. This isn't a concert. This is a love story. He said, "I choose us," and meant it. Their kids are gonna grow up and see this and know what healing looks like. The music industry shook. Insiders whispered that Kendrick was planning to end the tour early, possibly announcing a documentary, or releasing the most emotional project of his entire career. Some believed this was the beginning of his spiritual rebirth. Others thought this was his goodbye to rap as we know it. But one thing was crystal clear. Frankfurt changed everything. The second that concert ended, the internet hit pause. Didn't matter if you were a diehard fan or just new humble. Everyone was talking. Because this wasn't just a performance, this was real life, bleeding out on stage. Fans called it the new blueprint. Hashtags trended for hours. Hashtag Frankfurt Confession. Hashtag Kendrick and Whitney. Hashtag He Chose Us. Hashtag That Wasn't Your Rap. One viral TikTok voiceover said it best. "I've never cried at a concert until last night." Another fan whispered. He healed his relationship in front of 20,000 people. Name another artist who could do that. TikTok flooded with reaction videos. Teary fans mouthing, "I choose us." Edits of Whitney standing synced with soft violins. Even Gen Z, the generation that rarely pauses, called it the most authentic moment hip-hop has seen this decade. And the industry? Shook. Pharrell Williams posted a blank black square with 3 words. "Thank you, Kendrick." Timbaland tweeted, "This generation just got their Marvin Gaye moment." Terrace Martin, longtime collaborator, said on IG Live, "We've done symphonies, rallies, but this was the realest thing Kendrick's ever done. Ain't no marketing, no playlists, just pain, love, and growth." Inside Def Jam, execs called an emergency meeting. A leaked email read, "This isn't about bars anymore. This is about soul." Kendrick just raised the emotional bar for the entire genre. Meanwhile, in one odd corner of the web, silence. Drake fans. No shade. No sneak tweets. No memes. Just awkward quiet. One post summed it up perfectly. Kendrick did more in 20 minutes of silence than Drake has in 20 years of flexing. This wasn't about rap beef anymore. This was about healing. This was therapy performed live. But not everyone got the memo. Zeus Network, infamous for its chaotic celebrity brawls and toxicity, tried to troll. They posted a meme captioned, "Kendrick turned his concert into a Yenlaw Fix My Life." The backlash was immediate. Fans clapped back hard. Read the room. This ain't your circus. Kendrick did what your network never could: show growth. Even celebs chimed in. Teyana Taylor commented, "Nah, that was love. That was art. That was legacy." Zeus deleted the post within the hour. Meanwhile, mental health organizations applauded. NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, tweeted, "Kendrick showed that strength lives in honesty, not silence. Let this be the new standard in how we talk about men, trauma, and healing." Therapists broke it all down on YouTube and podcasts. They said he spoke to the Black family dynamic, to emotional neglect, and to generational guilt, and did it while holding himself accountable. Then the countdown timer hit 0. Fans refreshed the site. Subreddits paused posting. Meetings stopped mid-slide. And the site went completely black. No music. No video. No merch. Just one message appeared. This wasn't for you. It was for her.
Kill.
Then boom. The site loaded a single image. A book cover. Letters to Whitney, a memoir. No fancy design. No gold trim. Just raw white letters on a plain black background. And in that moment, the world knew this wasn't a tour. This wasn't a comeback. This wasn't even rap. This was redemption, live, unscripted, and unforgettable.